Alright, so today we'll be talking about the Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic for English Language for primary school. So are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Alright, okay, so hello everyone. So today I'm going to give you an overview of the Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic for English Language for primary school. Alright, so this paper has two different components, which are the reading and use of English and also writing. Okay, so this paper is also aligned to the CEFR. Alright, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, alright, now. Alright, so beginning this year, we'll be having an Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic at the end of the school session. Alright? Okay, so but before I start, let's talk a bit about the subject aims and objectives. Alright? So the curriculum has outlined for the candidates to be equipped with basic language skills in order to allow them to communicate effectively. Alright, Chris?
Okay.
And then when they're able to communicate effectively, they can speak, and correspond in a variety of texts according to their levels. Okay. All right. Understood. Now, let's have a look at the subject aims and the objectives. All right. So, therefore, at the end of the schooling years, the students are expected to be able to communicate confidently, to be able to read for information and enjoyment, to be able to write appropriately, as well as to be able to appreciate literary works. They are also able to, display correct grammar use, as well as to inculcate positive values in them. All right?
Okay, understood.
Okay, so that's all about subject aims and objectives. Okay? Now, moving on to the the assessment objectives. All right. So the assessment objectives are derived from the curriculum document also, and they are also aligned with the CEFR. All right. Okay. So for this particular Ujian academic, the subject objectives, the assessment objectives are to identify whether candidates can identify specific information, can understand and process information, and maybe to produce a written response and, show their creativity, to see if they can respond to text, various types of text, and to also display their grammar knowledge. Okay, so these are the assessment objectives, which, if I can repeat, this is also they are also derived from the curriculum document.
Okay, understood.
All right, now, what is new in this Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic for English Language Test format? All right, so it has 50 marks, all right, and then it has 27 questions. All right, in this paper we've got 7 parts, which include the tasks for reading and use of English, as well as writing. Alright, so the candidates will be sitting for it for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And again, I'd like to to repeat that this paper is aligned to the A1 and A2 levels of CFR. For the component of reading and use of English, students will be answering their writing their answers on the OMR form.
OMR form?
Yes.
What is an OMR form? It's like an answer sheet?
Yes, it's an answer sheet. All right. So this is prepared, it's together with the instrument.
Right. So all 7 parts need to be answered within that 1 hour 15 minutes.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay, understood. All right. So this is the English language format for Year 4,
Year 5, and Year 6.
Okay.
And then the marks that we've got is 50 marks for this paper, and it covers the 2 skills, which are reading and use of English, as well as writing.
Okay.
Now, all right. So we'll be talking about the reading and use of English tasks. It has got 4 tasks. 4 different tasks. Okay. This is the first part. All right. In the first part, Chris, we've got 5 questions, and these questions are based on 5 short text. All right. So the short text can be a message, an advertisement, or probably an email. All right. Okay. So students will be able to choose the answer from 3 options for every question. Okay. All right. And then what is being tested here? So here, students are being tested to see if they can get the main points and then understand specific details given in the
from the
text.
passage.
Yes, from the text. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at the sample. Okay. You know what I'm going to ask you to do, right?
Oh, I'm supposed to do this.
Okay, let's try this question. Okay, so this is a sample for part 1 and this is a notice. Okay, all right. So over to you,
should I
Chris.
read the passage?
Yes, please.
Dear English Club members, the school holidays start on Saturday. Our last lesson is on Wednesday, so please give me your projects on Tuesday. Mr. Nathan. So this is a message?
Yes, this is a notice.
A notice, okay.
All right.
So the question is, English Club members should send their work to Mr. Nathan by...
Okay, A, Tuesday, B, Wednesday, C, Saturday. Let's try it.
Okay, so based on what I understand, the answer should be A, Tuesday.
You're
by
right.
Tuesday.
Okay,
correct?
1 point for you.
Yes,
okay,
thank you.
All right. Okay, so that is for part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. Okay.
Okay.
So in part 2, we've got a closed text with 4 gaps. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you what it means after this. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a slightly longer text, you know, and then our candidates must be able to guess the meaning of unfamiliar words. How do they guess the meaning of unfamiliar words? You know, the clues are given in the text. All right. So let's have a look at the sample. All right. As you can see, you know, this is a slightly longer text.
Yeah, it's a longer text.
Okay. And then you can see that we've got an example here.
Okay.
You know, it's already been done. You know, and then the 4 gaps: 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. And then you've got the 3 options, okay? The 3 options. So what you need to do is you need to read the whole text and then, you know, guess which word would fit the best for each blank. All right? Okay, I'm not going to ask you to try this one. You're safe.
Panicking.
Okay, so you're safe. All right, all right. Now, okay, so this is part 2.
All right.
All right, so the focus here. The focus here
I was
is...
about to ask you, what is the focus of this part 2 actually?
All right, this part 2 focuses on grammar as well as vocabulary. All right.
Okay.
So you've got 4 questions on that. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to part 3. All right. This is slightly, you know, challenging. Okay, where candidates have to answer 5 questions based on a text. Okay, and then the text can be a linear or a non-linear text. All right.
What does that mean, Ms.
I knew you'll be asking me this question. All right. Okay. So linear means, you know, a text that, you know, is full with words, you know, it's a complete text. But if you have a non-linear text, it's text with graphics. All right. Okay. So it can be a linear or a non-linear text for part 3. Okay.
Understood.
So here again, students are, you know, being tested to see, you know, to test on their comprehension, to see if they're able to identify the main points. You know, looking for the specific details and information. And particularly for this particular part, sometimes students have to recognize the attitude or opinion of the writer, you know, of the text that they have read. Okay. So let's have a look at part 3.
Sure.
So this is actually a very long text. I'm not going to read it with you, Chris. Okay. So this is quite a long text. So you know that you have to pull in your reading skills, you know, in order to answer the questions. Okay. So this text talks about a bus service. Okay. All right, let's have a look at the sample questions. Okay, you've got 2 samples here, 2 sample questions, but in actual test,
how many questions will there be?
5 questions.
5
You'll
questions.
be answering 5 questions.
Okay.
All right, clear, Chris?
Clear.
All right, clear, everyone? Okay. Now let's move on to part 4. Okay. So in part 4, we've got 6 questions, and then it is a matching task. Okay. So candidates have to have to read multiple short text. I'm going to show you the sample after this.
Okay.
All right. And then they have to understand main points in the text, as well as getting the specific details, and then again, you know, understand unfamiliar words, you know, from the clues given within the text. All right. So are you ready to see the sample? Okay, let's have a look at the sample.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah, there are this is one question.
Yes, this is one question.
Okay.
So you will get to read 3 different texts. All right. So you have to process 3 different texts. Okay. The length, I think, is quite all right, right? Okay. It's just that you have to process 3 different main information. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So these 3 texts are talking about 3 different parks. Yeah. All right. Angel Park, Bloom Park, and City Park. All right. Okay. On this side, you're seeing 6 statements. Okay. What you need to do here is actually matching them. You know, you need to read the statement and then match to the correct text here, either A, B, or C. All right. So this is a bit challenging, I think. So what's important here is for the candidates to read and, you know, understand the information. You know, only that they will be able to process the statements here and then match them. Okay, so and they have to choose A, B or C.
So what would you recommend the pupils to do first when they encounter this question?
First of all is actually to understand the instruction. You know, there will be, clear instruction at the top of the paper later.
Okay.
And then they have to read the text carefully. They have to read the text carefully, understand what are the main points. It will also be helpful if they can go, from the statements to the text,
Also, we go
if they have read, read all and then go to the statement. They can read again to check whether the answers are correct or not.
Right. And speaking of reading again, I think one of the challenges that pupils would face is time. So this paper, this assessment has 1 hour and 15 minutes for 7 parts.
7 parts.
So for part 4 or even part 3, for example, is there a time recommendation that you would encourage pupils to spend on? Or
naturally, probably candidates would like to spend more time on writing later. But we would say that, you can spend about 10-15 minutes on this particular part. This is important. I think candidates have to plan, on how to answer all the 4 parts for the reading paper, reading component, before answering the writing component.
Right. So in these 4 parts, we are focusing on reading and comprehension.
Correct. You're right. Yep. Yes.
And for each question, right? I see 15, 16, 17, 18. How many marks are these questions worth? Is it 1 mark each?
Oh, that's a good question. All right. So for each question is worth 1 mark. Okay. So for part 1 until part 5 later, I'm going to show you part 5. Each question is worth 1 mark.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So I'm actually quite excited to try a few questions. Is that okay?
All right, sure.
Okay, let's try question 15.
All right, question 15.
This park is 30 minutes from town.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to try doing a bit of a shortcut method and just skim through.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Bloom Park, City Park. I don't see any 30 minutes though. Is it because I didn't read? Did I not read the question first? If you're in town, it only takes 10 minutes
to go to the
park. Okay, so that's 10 minutes. So it's not Angel Park.
Yeah, it's not Angel Park.
So it's either Bloom Park or City Park.
Yeah, but I can see where you can get the answer now. You sure you don't get it? Yeah.
Okay, maybe you
so
can
the
share
question is, this park is 30 minutes from the town.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go here, the park is half an hour from the city center. So that's the key, which is B, Bloom Park.
So even though in that passage it does not say 30 minutes, but we need to understand half an hour.
Yes. So that's why I said you have to use your reading skills. Sometimes the text, of course the texts are written to distract you a bit.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful when you are reading it.
So this is to test the pupils' understanding of different words as well.
Correct.
So 30 minutes or half an hour.
Yep. You're right.
Okay. So sounds like I think I can get full marks for this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
6. So these are the 4 parts. And we still have another 3 parts. Am I right, Ms. Fana?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, all right. So before we proceed to do we have any more examples after this?
No, I think this is the final. This is the final part for reading and use of English.
All right. So we will be coming back for 3 more parts for this assessment. But before that, is it okay if we take a short break, Ms. Fana?
Sure.
All right. So for everyone watching, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back only on Pentaksiran Sumatif, Didik TV, KPM. Hi everyone, welcome to Pentaksiran Sumatif, only on Didik TV KPM with me, Chris MJ, and today I'm here with Miss Fahana for our focus, which is Ujian Akhir Sesi Akademik tahun 4, 5 dan 6 English language format. Alright, Miss Fahana, I'm excited to dive deeper into our discussion today. So what is going to be our next focus?
Alright, so we have covered the reading and use of English task.
Okay.
Now we are going to see the writing task. Okay.
Ooh, writing.
Writing. Okay. Alright.
So this is going to be a bit challenging,
right? Let's have a look at the writing task. Yeah?
Alright.
Okay. Alright, this is a sample question for part 5. Okay. In this particular part, students have to complete incomplete spellings. Okay, so what you see here on the screen are actually 5 different descriptions of 5 different things.
Okay.
All right, and then you're given the first letter for each word. All right.
Is it always the first letter, Miss Fahana?
Yes, it will be the first letter.
Okay.
And then each question is worth 1 mark. All right.
Okay.
So I think probably this is, a pretty straightforward task. What's important is, to be able to read the descriptions
and
understand what it talks about. All right. So I'm gonna test you, Chris.
Okay. I'll try.
All right. Okay. Let's have a try. For the first one, number 21. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it for you. A piece of wood or plastic on the wall that a teacher writes on, and it starts with B.
Okay. The teacher writes on. Is it board? B-O-A-R-D.
You're right.
Does it fit there? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it is a board. Okay, probably that's too easy, Chris.
Too easy?
Too easy for you. Okay?
I can do all.
You can do all.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do all. Okay, number 22. This shows you the time.
What?
And it starts with C.
Oh, but it starts with C. Okay. Clock. C-L-O-C-K.
Okay, good job. All right. Okay,
nice.
the next one. You can use this to help you draw straight lines.
Oh, this is easy. Ruler. R-U-L-E-R.
One more point for you. All right, number 24. When you write with a pencil and make a mistake, use this. When you make a mistake, you use this.
Okay, this is... I know we always say we call it rubber, but
okay.
the other word for it is eraser.
Yes.
E-R-A-S-E-R. Is that correct?
Yes.
I feel like I'm in a game show right now.
Yeah.
Like,
but you see, if you say rubber, that's very normal. I mean, everyone uses rubber.
Malaysian.
It's a Malaysian thing.
Okay, so
but
eraser.
the correct word is eraser. And you got it right. Yes. Let's try the final one. Okay, right. Number 25. You put your books in this so you can carry them to school.
Bag.
Easy.
B-A-G.
Yes.
B-E-G is Bahasa Melayu spelling.
Yes.
B-A-G.
B-A-G. So easy peasy for you, yeah?
Easy peasy. So how many marks did I just get there?
You've got 5 there.
5 there, yes.
All right.
And
okay.
I noticed, Miss Farhana, that the answers are actually following a certain theme. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's really good for you to identify that. There's a specific theme for this, for all these 5 descriptions.
Okay.
And do you want to guess what is it?
Stationery, I don't know, paint, pencil, eraser.
But is a clock a part of stationery?
Is it things you can find in the classroom?
Yep, you're right. So these are the things that you can find in the classroom. Okay, so dear students, do not be worried. There will be a team, that these things are familiar to you. So do not be scared. You have to read the description carefully in order for you to complete the spelling.
So for part 5, this is an example of a theme.
Yes, this is just a sample.
But usually it will always follow a certain theme, is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Okay. All right, let's move on to part 6, okay?
All right. What is part 6?
All right, now part 6 is, slightly challenging. I'd like to use that, slightly challenging, okay? All right, so in part 6, candidates have to write a short response to an email or a message in about 30 to 50 words. Okay? So it is important for them to identify what are the things that they need to put or include in the writing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna read the sample for you guys.
Sure.
Okay. So your neighbor Ali borrowed a book from you. You need the book back. So that's the context. Yeah. Write an email to Ali. In your email, explain why you want it back and then say where Ellie can meet you. Alright, so what are the 2 key things that you need to include in your writing here, Chris?
Okay, so based on the question, we need to explain why I want it back from Ellie.
What back?
The book.
The book back,
alright. Okay. Where can we meet? Where can Ellie meet me to exchange, to pass me the book?
Yes.
So these are the 2 points.
Yes, correct. So that is very important, to identify what's, required from you to answer, to include in your writing. And then you have to write it between 30 and 50 words.
30 and 50 words.
Yeah, all right.
What happens if someone accidentally writes 51 words?
No problem with that. Don't worry about that.
Issue.
Yes, no issue.
Yeah.
And then the marks, okay?
Yeah. How many marks is
this mark. Okay, this particular part has 10 marks. All right?
10 marks?
10 marks. Okay?
Wow.
So you know what to do, Chris, yeah? With 10 marks.
Yeah.
Okay?
So how many and how many paragraphs, or is there a specific format to follow?
It doesn't have a specific format, but naturally when you are replying to an email or a message, you will write it clearly. Probably you want to put 2 different ideas into paragraph. It's up to you. But this is slightly shorter text.
Okay.
Probably sometimes candidate can have all the points in just one paragraph. But if they want to split it into two paragraphs, that's all right as well.
All right.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess like one concern I had, or one question I had was, you know how in emails we have regards or sincerely, comma, your name, and is that something
you can do that, no worries. But if you don't, if you didn't sign at the end, it's okay as well.
Okay,
all
so
right?
we're just looking at the main points.
Yes, you're right. Okay.
Understood.
All right, let's have a look at part 7. All right, part 7, which is also the final part of the test, is asking candidate to write an essay, a slightly longer essay between 60 to 80 words, yeah? All right, so the essay is written based on the stimulus given. So here, in this sample, you are required to write an email, as you can see from the template here. You are required to write an email to a friend to invite him to an event, a book sale, all right? And then telling him why you would like to go to the book sale. So the information given in the text, in the stimulus, can be helpful in, in helping you to write your writing, to write your email to your friend, okay? So candidates can write their answers on the, in the space provided here. And then there's a word limit, about 60 to 80 words. Yeah, I must say that in this particular part, because it is asking you to write a slightly longer, it is important for you to look at the stimulus given, and then use the points there, in your writing, so that you can develop the ideas, elaborate a bit, So this
it helps to get more marks. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah,
you got more
yeah,
points.
yeah. When you write, when you use all the ideas, and then your language is all right, your grammar is okay, you can get more marks.
All right, so there you have it. Those are the 7 parts that year 4, year 5, year 6 will be tested on. And in this specific part 5, part 6, part 7 is focusing on writing.
Correct.
So when are the pupils going to be sitting for these tests?
All right, the pupils will be sitting for the test at the end of the school session, which will be next year. So it will be between January and February, I think, about that, at the end of their school session. All right.
And Ms. Farhana, do you have any tips for pupils watching, for who are about to sit for this test?
All right. Okay. So sure, this is one important tip. I think what's important for the candidates is they have to read the instructions carefully. So you have to pay close attention to what is asked from you for each part. If you are asked to write an email or a message, make sure you do that, and then identify the main points in the text. If you're reading a text for part 3, let's say, make sure that you read them carefully. You use all your reading skills in order to answer and get the answer correctly. Okay, so I think that's a few tips for all the candidates.
Thank you very much for sharing those very insightful tips. I'm sure that has been very helpful. But looks like we have come to the end of today's program or episode. But before we wrap up, maybe you would like to share with us a summary of what we have just discussed and talked about today.
Sure. All right. So today I've given you an overview of the Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic for English Language Test format, which include reading and use of English tasks as well as writing tasks. So the paper has 50 marks and 7 parts. So it is important for you to use your reading skill when you are doing the reading and use of English task. And it's also important for you to understand what is required from you when you are answering the writing parts. Okay, so from Lembaga Peperiksaan, we wish you all the best.
All the best, that's right. And with that, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Ms. Farhana for today's very, very insightful discussion. And also thank you to Cikgu Shida as our sign language interpreter for today's episode. And thank you for watching. And with that, we have come to the end of today's episode. We'll see you again only on Didik TV KPM. Bye everyone.
Bye.
So we can just...